Let me also introduce myself for those who may not have an advantage of knowing me before. I'm John Mutua Katuku, Minister for Water and Irrigation and a Member of Parliament for a constituency in Ukambani known as Mwala. I've been elected twice, so if you don't like me, then people like me around there. And they have shown confidence by electing me twice. And they have told me if I perform well, they are going to do it again. But anyway, as the leader of the delegation which was attending this meeting, which is very critical to us, I would want to say I greatly appreciate the effort made by the ambassador to bring us together. When I stepped here, we tried to look at the diary. When can we have a get-together with the staff from the ministry based here, and the delegation had, and a few friends who are staying here in Stockholm and in general in Sweden. And when we found Friday was the fitting, we said maybe we can have such a sitting, and I want to thank the ambassador for making it possible to have this kind of sitting. Also, I want to thank you, most sincerely, Chair, and your team for finding time to join us in this kind of meeting or dinner, which to me is very important because as a minister, I would have gone home very disappointed if I didn't meet not only the officials of the ambassador's office and others, but also meeting others with lobbying for people to invest in Kenya, such a kind of team. I've never been here before, but it's a kind of a team who want people look for big investors. We are not looking for big investors. We look for small investors like who can buy one house in Nairobi. It's a big investment, it's not a concern. It was being done by locals. So when we talk about investment, it's not necessarily that you come back to Nairobi, not looking for jobs, which are not available. You have a job here and you can be able to manage to get come home once in a while. There are people who stay in Mombasa, for example, or Nairobi, and they don't get home for 3, 4, 5 years. You can stay here in Stockholm or in another part of this region, and you may organize yourself in a manner that you find yourself coming home more frequently than people stay in Eldoret or in Kisumu or in Nairobi. And you may make more contribution when you are here than someone say in Nairobi, because the guy can't eat. The guy has no bus fare to this and that. But you may be lucky you are here, you have a small job, a big job. You can make a big contribution in terms of what my friend Basigo was saying, in terms of repatriating what your earnings back home. You can also make a lot of contribution, but not necessarily financial, but also in views. You make input in terms of your technology, you can email, you can talk, you can influence in other ways. And I forgot to introduce our friend in the bank, ADB. I think I'll give him a chance to Jiro to say a word later, but I was trying to say you can influence. Like when we came here, we laid a bit to start off, not because of anything else, but because of his intervention. Because within our 1 week here, we were trying to not only, we had so many lectures, okay, refreshing our minds, people present, making papers on different areas, but we're also doing some networking in 1 or 2 areas, looking at where have we not achieved, where we had commitments here and there, they were not being fulfilled by either donors or ourselves, those kind of focuses here and there. And in part of the networking, Giru, we were trying to see how we can meet with Giru works with the African Development Bank, ADB, and Rafiki. There is a friend from Tanzania who have been trying to meet the whole week. We were not able to meet, but when he came and met with the Giru and said, the guy is staying somewhere here, I told him, can you look for him so that we can have a site meeting? Because in our week we had a serious meeting and site meeting. So during this dinner, we had our site meeting somewhere in one of the tables here to see how we can network with the bank, that is the World Bank and the ADB, in terms of getting financial support in transport sector. So generally, before I get to that, I wanted to say that you as a Kenyan staying here, don't feel that you are not part of Kenya, that you are staying here very cold. I'm very lucky you came at the right time. I'll come back when it will be very cold. I'll tell the ambassador I'll make a private visit. It will be very cold here, so that they can experience the same. And what I was saying is that don't feel that you are not in Kenya. We encourage people to be out there, and like others who encourage people to be home. But come home and invest home. When you get, don't buy a house here. You have a house to stay here. Invest out there, because we will get the money. When you send a few dollars to build a house now, that translates something else in terms of economics. So I would want to encourage you to invest in Nairobi, or to invest in Karatina, or in Machakos, or wherever in that country. So what I'm saying is, as the Kenyans staying here, let's be positive in terms of what is happening in Kenya. Where things are not going right, be free to say this is not going right. That's your business. But that's where we have democracy. And I have served in the opposition bench. I used to sit at the corner there in the opposition bench, criticizing the city government. Now I'm in government. I don't know, even sometimes I find myself criticizing myself, because I'm used to criticism on the other side. Criticism is not bad, it's good, so long it's positive. So when you are here, you can have positive criticism, negative criticism, that's real. But when you give criticism, and I strongly believe that when you have an argument with somebody, the argument to me is positive. So long as you don't take it personal. Don't take arguments personal. But they can build you can learn something from the argument you had, so and so. So when you are here, you might be busy doing whatever you are doing, small things you are doing around. But also try to criticize or give input. Try to influence decision making. Because us, like those who are in the policy level, we find ourselves very busy with so many things. From here to my home, my wife is complaining you have been in Stockholm for a whole week. My son is complaining. My secretary, my office, and what, my president, my everybody is saying you are being away. And then, so my voters, when I get to one of you, you say, wewe, kutuma bunge na ukaenda kusurura huko Sweden, una enjoy yourself huko. So those kind of things, but you find ourselves up and down, so many things. So we encourage those kind of inputs, not just water, clean water. And that has enabled us to decentralize the delivery of services in our country, where we have created like parastatals in given areas. Like where you come from, you have a water sector in that region, another region water sector. Then you have regulatory bodies, so which are involved in the sector. So those are some of the reforms we are going through, and we would want your support, your criticism, your ideas on how we can improve through your experiences. Some of you have lived here, others elsewhere. There are so many ideas which can help us. I don't want to go into politics. I'm a politician, but I don't want to get to that. But then if you have any question on politics, I'm also ready to maybe clarify or maybe say what I think about it. But one thing we have in Kenya, we have been able to achieve with the reforms, most of you have made from vision, is the freedom of expression. Whether in the papers, whether in forums like these, people are free to say they want about their president, about their minister for water, about your chairman, about your ambassador. That's what we are saying, positive criticism. I want to introduce you, who is a very foreign man in the African Development Bank. Introduce himself, and then you open the forum for anybody to seek clarification. Thank you.
Thank you very much.